Imagine Cecile DeMille's The Ten Commandments without the character of Moses. In fact, we do this each Passover at our Seder. Except for a handful of passing references, the text of the Haggadah does not mention Moses at all. Rabbi Elijah of Vilna, the famed 18th century Vilna Gaon, explained that this omission was deliberate. Despite his prominence in the Exodus story, Moses was deliberately left on the Seder's cutting room floor in order to emphasize that Moses, as central a character as he was only a supporting actor. God plays the lead. Other rabbinic commentators did not feel as strongly that Moses should not be mentioned at the Seder. For example, this is how Moses Maimonides describes the Seder night, and I quote, "We teach the children what happened in Egypt and the miracles that were performed for us by God through the agency of Moses." So for Maimonides, there seems to be nothing intrinsically wrong with mentioning Moses at the Seder. Moses is a detail, but details can either reinforce or detract from the story. The decision about which details to include is a judgment call. It's a judgment call best left to whomever is conducting his or her own individual Seder. This teaches us, first and foremost, that the Seder is a drama. It's a performance for those who want a more historical, a more complete account of the story. There is an entire book of Exodus where all of Moses' contributions, his full character development, is detailed and laid out. The second lesson this teaches us is that the story of Moses, as important as it is not critical. The Seder is our attempt to reenact and relive the experience of slavery and liberation felt by the common Israelites. Moses was never enslaved, nor was he ever emancipated. If our goal at the Seder night is really, as we claim, to see ourselves as if we ourselves left Egypt, then the story we're telling at the Seder is not about Moses at all. It's about everybody else except for Moses. Seen in this light, the Seder is a powerful reminder that, in the words of the late historian Howard Zinn, and I quote, "We don't have to engage in grand, heroic actions to participate in the process of change. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world." Moses may have spoken to God. Moses may have demanded justice in front of Pharaoh. Moses may have performed miracles in front of the people. But the liberation itself, the liberation Moses led, was effected on a household by household basis, around each family's individual kitchen table. In a modern context, the story of civil rights in America features Dr. Martin Luther King, but the story is not about him. The story of the fall of apartheid in South Africa features Nelson Mandela, but it is not about him. The story of women's suffrage in America features Susan B. Anthony, but it is not about her. Each of these are popular movements, the mosaics of millions of much smaller, much more intimate stories. Each story, each individual story was profound in its own right, but when combined, they formed powerful epics that reshaped history. Passover highlights to us the power of each one of us to change our own lives. Passover challenges us to dream big, to imagine how each of our own small actions, each of our own small steps, when put forward together, can change the course of history. Wishing you and your loved ones a Chag Sameach, a joyous and a meaningful Passover festival.